We're back on this inaugural installment of Sun Devil Extra from the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. I'm Tim Healey, the radio play-by-play voice of the Sun Devils and your host for our show each week. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming off a win and an overtime 2-2 tie last weekend at Colorado College, the Arizona State Sun Devil hockey team will bring a number 12 national ranking into its two home games this weekend when the Sun Devils are back on their home ice at Mullet Arena to take on the Ivy League's Dartmouth Big Green. With games set for 7 p.m. this Friday, December 8th, and the puck will drop at 5 p.m. on Saturday, December 9th at the Mullet. With us this week to get us up to date on his Sun Devil hockey team is the ninth-year head coach of Arizona State's Division I hockey program, our good friend Greg Powers, here to join us once again. Always good to talk hockey with you, sir. How you been?
Yeah, I've been great. It's always good to be here. You know, Ray actually gave me his blessing to call this the Powers and Healey show when he decided to leave.
I love it.
Or we could call it the Healey and Powers show. It's up to you.
No, I think you probably would get top billing over me. We'll defer to our engineer, Sean Crespin, and I think Sean is nodding his head in approval. We may have a new auxiliary name for our show, and a good one at that. Hey, speaking of good, your team brings an 11-3-2 record into this weekend's play. That number 12 national ranking. Give us your overview of the way the season's gone so far.
You know, the results are there. We have a special group of kids that just care about one thing, and that's winning. Right? They don't care about individual accolades or who gets the credit. They just want to win. They found different ways to win. We've been really in just about every situation you could imagine and found ways to win this year. So it's a great group that is very, very focused on getting the job done, and one that we feel like has our best hockey ahead of us.
Indeed. Are there any areas where you feel like this team has really elevated its play from a year ago?
I think just you know, it sounds cliche, but just resiliency. You know, we're finding ways to win really close games, whether it be going into the third period down a goal, being down 2 goals in the third period, winning games in overtime. Guys are finding ways to win, you know, and there's never a doubt in any situation that we're in that we can get through it and find a way to be successful. We got a great goaltender that always carries us through the tough times, and it carries out from there. And guys are just playing confident and committed to keeping the puck out of our net, which you have to do in our game. And so we're just we're happy with where we are, but we think the best is ahead of us.
I think those qualities were on display last weekend at Colorado College up in Colorado Springs. Let's start with the Friday game, a 2-2 tie, and sounds to me, Greg, like it was kind of a salty game. I think there were, 14 penalties and 28 penalty minutes between the two teams, a physical game, and your team was able to get a tie out of it.
Yeah, it was a game where we felt like we played well enough to win. The kill was really good. TJ was good. Much of those penalty minutes were on us. We didn't get home cooking at all because we were on the road. But we found a way to get through a really tough weekend against a tough opponent, win a series on the road, which you have to do as an independent, and the result was a favorable one.
Yeah, one of the goals in the Friday game came on the power play, and it was Arizona State's 18th power play goal of the season. That's the second most in the nation. What has been the key to your success with the man advantage?
Well, we have a kid by the name of Matthew Copperud who led the country in power play goals his sophomore year. This year, I think he's tied for second in the country in power play goals. He just knows how to run a power play, but play on one and score. He scores big goals and big moments. He you know, his excitement level goes up. That's his time to shine. And when you have a weapon like that, you know, like the equivalent of like an Alex Ovechkin in the NHL,
right?
You know, teams key in on him and opens up areas and for other players to have success as well. And he's dynamite.
In that vein as well, your leading scorer on the season is forward Lucas Sillinger, and he's been a key on the power play. He's got a team-high 12 assists, 17 points on the year. He's teamed up with the Jackson brothers, Ty and Dylan, on your first line. Those fellows doing good work for you.
Yeah,
there.
high IQ players, especially Silly. We have him on that other flank with opposite of Copperwood, and he just, if you take one option away, he has the IQ to understand where to go with the puck right away, and he's tough to defend because he just can do so many different things.
Let's talk about TJ Semtenfelder, your goalie. You'll meet TJ in our next segment of this week's show, by the way. But Saturday at Colorado College, he posted a 2-0 shutout victory, 38 saves. The 3 shutouts are tied for the national lead in shutouts among collegiate hockey goalies so far this season. That also gives TJ 8 shutouts for his career, and that ties him with ASU program icon Joey Decord for the most shutouts by a Sun Devil goalie. Joey Decord now in the NHL with the Seattle Kraken. What factors in your mind, Greg, have led to TJ's terrific play of late? He's been solid for 2 years, but really good lately.
He just competes. You know, I think he would be the first to admit a little bit of a lull around the Denver series. The second game, he was not himself, and I know it really bothered him. And he peeled back the onion and really reset a lot of things, what he did, you know, on and off the ice from just a mental preparation standpoint. And he has been lights out ever since. He was great the first 4 games of the year, and he has been really, really good the last 4 games. And I think he's in a space now where he's challenging himself to stay there, not just kind of go like this. He's up here and he wants to stay up there, and he's the kind of kid that is going to figure that out. And once he does, look out.
And he had 32 saves in the Friday game at Colorado College, 38 saves in the shutout on Saturday, the 2-0 shutout win, and that gives him 4 consecutive games where he's had 30 or more saves. And it's not just TJ, is it? It's the guys in front of him too.
Yeah, we have a group that's bought into keeping the puck out of the net. You know, whether it's just good defensive structure and killing plays early, but most importantly, guys that are willing to get in front of pucks and eat pucks and block shots with whatever they need to block them with to keep it out. So we have a gritty team that's bought into that notion, you know, and building it from our net out, and it feels good. It gives you a chance to win every night.
Yeah. Now this weekend, as we mentioned, the Sun Devils will be back on home ice at the Mullet to host the Dartmouth Big Green out of the Ivy League. Dartmouth 2, 3, and 4 so far this year. But Greg, when you think about the Ivy League, you think about really good hockey programs.
Yeah, they're good. They're well coached and structured, and they're in a great league, and they've played some really good teams. They tied a team like Quinnipiac, who's a very good team. So just like anybody in college hockey, you can't take anybody lightly. You have to be ready for them, and we're happy to be back at Mullet. It's actually the first time we've ever played Dartmouth. They're one of the few teams left in college hockey that we have not played, so we're excited to play them and see what it's all about.
This is 8 straight weeks now that the Sun Devil hockey program has been in the national rankings, number 12 this week. That has to be an immense source of pride for you and your kids.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a great stepping stone for us. As long as we're not content with just being in the rankings, you know, and with our guys, I know that they're not. Really, the only ranking that matters is the last one, you know. So we're building towards that, and every week we're finding new ways to win, and we just have to continue to do that.
Now, a lot of Sun Devil fans I know, and especially the ones that show up at the Mullet for every home game, they pack the place, nearly 5,000 strong every game. But I think there are a lot of Sun Devil fans that are taking great pride in what your program is accomplishing bit by bit, especially over the last 2 years. Is that something that you and your guys feed off of, the pride that you are bringing to Sun Devil Nation?
I think so. I mean, I know so. You know, for all of us to walk into Mullet on any game day and see the crowd and you know, when wins against Denver in overtime, Providence in overtime, and the place just explodes. And you know, I've been here a long time, as you know, and that's, you know, throughout the build, you know, that moment against a blue blood like Denver that has 8 national championships, a team like Providence who just won a national championship a few years ago, to beat those programs in Mullet in front of 5,000 of your own fans, that was the dream, right? That was what we really set out to accomplish when we were building this program, and it feels really good. And it becomes contagious. You want more of it, and that's what we're striving to bring.
And you're going to get a lot of big games in that building in the years to come when you join the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, the best conference in the country, and these schools that are coming in are your league opponents. What will that move do? We've talked about it before, but just for fans who may not have caught those interviews, what will that do to elevate your program even further?
Well, from a recruiting standpoint, it will do, you know, wonders, because kids want to play for a championship, right? As an independent, it's very difficult to make the NCAA tournament. We have done it twice. We're looking to do it for a third time, but it is hard. So to be able to play for a championship in a conference is what every kid wants. So recruiting-wise, it's really elevated that. But I think just to develop those rivalries, with regional places like Colorado College and Denver and Omaha and North Dakota, it's going to take time for us to earn the right to call anyone a rival. We haven't done that yet. We're new. We're going to be new in the league, but that's our goal is to quickly become very competitive to the point where their fan bases and their players and their coaches look at us and consider us a rival, one that they're excited to come to Mullet Arena, play in front of our fans, but understand it's going to be a war every time they play the Sun Devils.
There'll be some keys against Dartmouth this weekend. It'll be fun to see TJ get back between the pipes and just keep doing what he's been doing for you.
Yeah, just continue to worry about us and play our game and focus on keeping the puck out of our net. Dartmouth does a good job. They're well structured. They're big. So we're going to have to be good. But again, the focus really, the main theme through this first half has been to focus on us, know what our opponents are going to do, but really just polish up where we need to be good and what our identity is. And if we play to that this weekend, I like our chances.
Indeed. The games again will be Friday evening, 7 p.m. at Mullet Arena, ASU and Dartmouth, and then the two teams will square off again Saturday with the puck dropping at 5 p.m. Always great to visit with you, Greg. Happy holidays. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Happy holidays, Tim. Thanks.
That's Sun Devil hockey coach Greg Powers, our guest on this edition of Sun Devil Extra. Coming up, you're going to meet the young man we talked about, one of the best goalies in all of collegiate hockey, as Sun Devil goaltender TJ Semptemfelder drops by for a visit. That'll follow these messages. This is Sun Devil Extra coming your way from the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network.